All right, so I want to show this bug that I'm working through with cursor pagination, just so we can see the bug in action and then the resolution in action. So there's an issue right now with pagination. If you have if you're doing a query and you're trying to paginate in WPGraphQL and you're sorting or ordering by values that are duplicate. So I've registered just a test post type to test this with, and I've created a lot of entries. I have 20 entries, and they all have the exact same title. You'll see duplicate title, and they all have the same timestamp, the same date, and so they're all the exact same. So I can run a query like this in graphical. So I'm getting the posts of the test posts of the test post type, and then I'm asking for the ID, the title, the database ID, the date, and the slug. So we can see I'm getting duplicate title with the database ID 171. I can hover over this and we'll see in the bottom of the screen it's post ID 171. This one is 170, 169, 168, 167. And we'll see the results in graphical are the same. So I'm asking for 10, so I'm actually getting 10 results. If I ask for just the first 5, this will match the same results I'm getting over here. If I go to page 2 in WordPress admin, we'll see this is ID 166 through 162. And so in GraphQL, I can ask for the page info, and I can ask for end cursor, and we can also ask for has next page. So if I execute this query again, it'll give me the cursor for the end position, and then I can place that in my after value here, and I can query the next page. So we have 171 through 167. If I click next, that'll be the next page. So that's ID 166 through 162. And if we look here again, 166 through 162. So far so good. This is matching WordPress core behavior as if I was querying that. And then I can go here again, the next page 161 through 157. If I click page 3 here, we're going to have 161 through 157. So all good. I can go to the last page of my 20 items. So I can use this cursor again, click next again. We'll see I'm at the last page now. So if I come to WordPress in the admin, we'll see I'm also at last page over here. Last page, so has next page is false. I can get my then cursor actually doesn't matter here, but we have IDs 156 through 152. ID 156 through 152. So far, so good. Now the problem, let me ask for the has previous page and start cursor. So I'll execute that same query. So we're on the last page. We're on the page 4 basically. What I'm going to do this time, we're going to go backward, and this is where the bug begins. So I'm going to null out my first argument and my after argument. That's for forward pagination. For backward pagination, we use last and before. So we say, I want the last 5 entries before this cursor. So what we're saying in WordPress admin is we have these 5, just like we do here in GraphQL. We have these 5 entries. I want the last 5 entries before that. So that would be the same as me saying, go to page 3. I want the 5 items before page 4. So I want the 5 items before page 4. So if I execute this, what we should see is entries 161 through 157. But we're not seeing that. We're seeing 167 through 171. So this is the bug behavior. So I have a pull request. I'm going to switch my code to that branch and just show this working. So I'm going to switch my code to the branch that I was working on. And I'm going to execute this same query again. So we should see this query should take us to entries 161 through 157. So with that code checked out, I'm going to execute the exact same query. And here we go. We have entry 161, just like here, and 157. So 161 through 157. I can take that start cursor and I can keep going backward. So this would be like going to page 2. Right, so now we have 166 through 162. If I go to page 2 in WP admin, I have 166 through 162. I can take the start cursor again, put it as my before value. This should take us to page 1. So we see has previous page is false now because we're at the beginning of the data set. Just like if I went to page 1 in WordPress, we're at the beginning of the data set. We have ID 171 and 167 at the end. 171, 167. All right, just wanted to walk through this behavior because I know it's kind of complicated depending on your experience with cursor pagination. All right.